The 1970s were packed with R&B classics, but not every hit started that way. Some songs flopped hard at first. Critics passed. Radio ignored them. But time had other plans, like the track that Luther almost gave away or the slow jam that bombed before becoming a wedding favorite. Let's uncover these comeback classics. Number 10, Love and Happiness by Al Green. The groove that radio slept on.
Love.
When Al Green released Love and Happiness in 1972, it didn't even chart as a single. It quietly lived on the I'm Still in Love with You album while other songs got the spotlight. The label didn't push it. DJs overlooked it. And yet, the soul in that guitar riff and Green's smoky plea gave it life far beyond the airwaves.
With someone, yeah.
Years later, college stations and soul revival shows began playing it. It became a live favorite, a staple of Al's shows, and a defining moment in Southern soul. You can almost picture a velvet-lit juke joint, smoke curling in the air as that riff kicks in and the room sways slow. Today, it's one of Green's most streamed songs. It's been sampled, covered, and celebrated by critics as a masterpiece. From forgotten album cut to soul essential, this one proves the people choose the classics, not the charts. If that was a quiet burn, this next one came back swinging years after nobody wanted it. Number 9, Let's Stay Together by Tina Turner, the cover that saved a career.
Let's stay together.
When Tina Turner released her cover of Al Green's Let's Stay Together in 1983, most people didn't realize it had been sitting quietly for years in her set list. She first toyed with it in the late 70s when she was rebuilding her career after Ike, but labels weren't interested in a solo Tina. By the time Capitol Records finally gave her a shot, the song had already flopped in test markets. But in the UK and Europe, something clicked. The track shot up the charts, driven by her fiery vocals and the subtle synth-driven groove. You can feel every ounce of survival in her voice, smooth, defiant, and alive. It paved the way for Private Dancer.
Tell me.
A comeback for the ages. What started as a rejected cover became the spark that reignited Tina's flame. And if you think that was a bold comeback, wait until you hear the song Luther Vandross almost gave away. Number 8, A House Is Not a Home by Luther Vandross. The slow burn that almost wasn't his.
It's still a chair.
Luther Vandross recorded this stirring take on the Burt Bacharach and Hal David ballad in 1981. But its journey began back in the 70s when he sang it during his background singer days. Initially, the song didn't chart. It wasn't even released as a major single. And for a while, even Luther doubted its reach.
Don't let one mistake.
In fact, Luther reportedly offered the song to Dionne Warwick, its original performer, as a duet or handoff. But something about how he delivered those final falsetto lines felt too personal and too broken and beautiful to be anyone else's. You can almost feel the hush of a room when that final "Are you gonna be" hangs in the air.
Are you gonna be in love with me?
What started as a sleeper album track from Never Too Much slowly became one of the most requested live performances of his career. Radio never made it a hit. Luther did, with Nothing But Heart. Now, if that one simmered in sorrow, this next jam flopped and then flipped into a roller rink anthem. Number 7 Heels, Boogie Nights by Heatwave. Too Funky Too Soon.
Boogie Nights, oh.
Released in 1976 in the UK, Boogie Nights was Heatwave's funky disco-fueled breakout. Eventually. But when it first dropped, US radio stations didn't know what to do with it. It was too weird, too European, too much funk and not enough soul, they said. It barely cracked any charts in its first few months. But disco dancers knew better. As roller rinks and dance floors started spinning it on repeat, momentum built. By 1967, it finally landed on American airwaves and climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. The groove, the falsetto, the spacey strings, it all clicked, just a little later than expected. You can practically hear the clatter of skates and the shimmer of disco lights when that chorus hits. From flop to funk staple, Boogie Nights took the long way around and made it count. If that was a delayed dance hit, the next one was straight up rejected until Stevie Wonder stepped in. Number 6, Until You Come Back to Me, That's What I'm Gonna Do, by Aretha Franklin, rescued by royalty. This song was originally written by Stevie Wonder in the late 1960s. He even recorded a demo, but Motown shelved it. For years, it sat collecting dust, passed over, rejected, and forgotten. That is, until Stevie offered it to the Queen of Soul herself. Aretha recorded it in 1973, and initially, Atlantic Records wasn't convinced. Early radio play was tepid. Some thought it was too smooth, too pop-leaning for her gospel-tinged soul. But Aretha knew better. With that rolling piano and her pleading delivery, she turned a forgotten demo into an anthem of longing. You can picture it playing on a rainy Sunday, coffee in hand, heart a little heavy. Slowly, it climbed the charts, reaching number 3 on the Hot 100 and number 1 on the R&B chart. It was a flop in Stevie's hands, a classic in Aretha's. And what comes next? A heartbreak anthem that was so personal, even the label didn't want it out there. If these slow-burning soul classics are sparking memories, give this video a like. It helps more folks rediscover the music they grew up with. And don't go anywhere. We've still got 5 more legendary tracks that rose from the ashes. Number 5, Neither One of Us Wants to Be the First to Say Goodbye by Gladys Knight and the Pips. Too honest for the moment.
Well, we just can't fake it.
Released in 1973 as one of their final tracks for Motown, this gut-wrenching ballad barely got a push. The label was focused on newer acts, and the group had already signed with Butter Records by the time the song came out. Some executives even felt the track was too slow, too sad, and too uncommercial.
And I guess you must be.
But audiences knew different. As the years passed, its honesty hit harder. The slow, steady tension between Gladys's lead and the Pips' backing built into something almost cinematic. You can feel the silence between two lovers in a room, knowing it's over, but no one says it. The song eventually climbed to number 2 on the Hot 100 and won a Grammy.
There can be no way.
It was their quiet farewell to Motown and a declaration that sometimes heartbreak doesn't need volume, just truth. Next up, a funky groove that bombed in the 70s but roared back when a blockbuster movie came calling. Number 4, Got to Give It Up by Marvin Gaye, the anti-disco that became a disco smash. In 1967, Marvin Gaye wanted nothing to do with the disco craze. He mocked it. He resisted it. But his label pressured him, so he responded by recording a parody of sorts. Gotta Give It Up was meant to be a sly jab at the genre, a tongue-in-cheek dance number recorded with minimal promotion and zero expectations. And at first, it flopped. The label didn't know how to market it. Critics were confused, but then the clubs got a hold of it. DJ started spinning it late at night, and suddenly, it wasn't a joke. It was a movement. You can hear the clink of glasses, the swirl of laughter, and Marvin's falsetto floating above a packed dance floor. What was meant as a throwaway track hit #1 on the Hot 100 and became a staple of summer parties for decades. That's the thing about Marvin. His throwaways are still better than most people's best. Now get ready for a track that was dead on arrival until it sparked a late-night radio revolution. Number 3, Reasons by Earth, Wind and Fire. The heartbreak ballad that lived off the charts.
Is this real? Temperatures rising, I don't want.
When That's the Way of the World dropped in 1975, Columbia pushed the hits. Shining Star, Happy Feeling, and of course the title track. But Reasons, it wasn't released as a single, and when it did finally land as a B-side, it flopped. No chart love, no radio play.
I'm longing to love you.
But the people loved it, especially at night. Quiet Storm DJs picked it up. Lovers turned it into their slow jam. Weddings, breakups, late-night soul sessions. Reasons became the soundtrack to everything fragile and beautiful. You can almost see a record spinning at 2 a.m., needle wobbling slightly as Philip Bailey hits that falsetto. That note, it pierces and heals all at once.
Reasons had no pride.
Today, it's one of Earth, Wind and Fire's most played songs. Never a chart topper, always a heart stopper. And if that gave you chills, the next track went from a complete failure to a global anthem thanks to one unforgettable performance. Number 2, A Song for You by Donny Hathaway. Too raw for its time, too timeless to ignore.
I've been so many places in my life and
Released in 1971 on Donny Hathaway, this stunning Leon Russell cover didn't chart. It didn't sell. Critics barely noticed. Even Atlantic Records, unsure how to market Hathaway's jazz-infused soul, quietly moved on. But the song had something different, something deeper. Donny's voice doesn't just sing, it confesses, it aches.
you came out in front when I was high.
From the opening piano chord, you're pulled into a room where time slows. He's not performing, he's surrendering. And maybe that was the problem. It was too vulnerable, too honest for a hit-driven market. But over time, A Song for You became a touchstone. Covered by Ray Charles, Whitney Houston, and Aretha Franklin. Played at funerals, weddings, and quiet nights alone. It grew because it meant something. You can almost feel the weight of a final letter written in the dark. A goodbye without bitterness. A love that lingers even when everything else is gone. It didn't need charts. It had soul. But nothing compares to number 1. A song that failed at first but became a sensual classic that never left us. Number 1, I Want You by Marvin Gaye. A sexy slow jam that bombed, then bloomed. In 1906, Marvin Gaye was chasing a new sound. Something sensual, hazy, hypnotic. But when I Want You dropped, it was met with confusion. Critics were cold. Fans wanted another Let's Get It On. And this wasn't it. The groove was strange. The vocals were whispered. Some radio stations refused to play it. For a while, it looked like Marvin had missed the mark. But in the underground, it began to build. Lovers latched onto it. DJs looped it into bedroom sets. The slinky jazz funk production by Leon Ware found its audience. Not on the charts, but in the quiet corners of passion.
you want me to.
You can almost hear the silk sheets rustling, the candle flickering as Marvin breathes into your ear. Over time, I Want You became iconic. Sampled by Janet Jackson, Madonna, and Kendrick Lamar. A flop only for a moment, a masterpiece forever. From chart failures to timeless treasures, these songs remind us that the heart of R&B isn't in numbers. It's in how deeply it moves us. Thanks for joining us on this soulful journey through the comebacks that shaped a generation. Subscribe to keep the groove alive and click the end screen to watch our next video. 10 banned R&B songs of the 60s you've never heard. Let's keep the rhythm rolling.